First, why did you decide to play rugby for Naksu?
ทำไมถึงมาเล่นกับนักสู้คะ
ชอบเล่นครับ
Because I like it
ชอบดูในทีวีครับก็เลยอยากเล่นบ้างครับ
so he watched in the TV so he want to play the rugby
All right, awesome. And what position do you play?
เล่นเป็นตัวอะไรคะ
เป็นสกัมฮาร์ฟครับ
Scrum
And why do you play rugby and not soccer or basketball or any other sport?
ทำไมถึงมาเล่นรักบี้แทนที่จะไปเล่นบาสเกตบอลหรือว่าฟุตบอลพวกเนี้ย
รักบี้มันสนุกครับ
It's fun
So what do you like about the Naksu Tigers?
ชอบนักสู้ไทเกอร์ยังไงบ้าง
สอนสอนดีครับก็แบ่งปันสอนภาษาอังกฤษแล้วก็สอนกีฬานะรักบี้ครับ
Yeah, so it disciplined my life, also teaching English and also teaching how to play the rugby. It feels like a community to me.
Right, and so you've made a lot of good friends at the Naksu Tigers?
มีเพื่อนเยอะใช่ไหมอยู่ที่นี่
ครับผม
Yeah.
yes ใช่
We're pretty excited to be able to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the BIT. Naksu's been a part of this now for 5 years. When we started 5 years ago, I think our kids had never entered into any competition at all. I think we entered in 2 age division teams. So if we fast forward 5 years, we've got 3 age division teams entered in, a Naksu men's team, and a ladies touch team. So we've got our teenagers playing in that. The tournament itself has grown phenomenally over the years, and it's such a privilege to be a part of it. And I think it really provides our kids to be able to really see how big the world is. Their lives are pretty difficult, and so to be able to interact with international competitors and players is an incredible experience for our kids.
Can you tell us a little bit about the background of where the kids grew up and the kind of social environment that they're in?
Yeah, so our kids come from some of the toughest neighborhoods in Bangkok. Many of them are from neighboring nations, and so migrant kids that have very little access to education. And so our organization came into Bangkok about 8 years ago, trying to really determine what some of the core needs were. And we found that as we worked in a number of these underprivileged communities, that some of the core components were a lack of educational opportunities. We had kids that were Thai kids that were able to access education but weren't doing well in school and needed tutoring, mentoring, assistance. Were dropping out of school because of teenage pregnancy, drug addictions, gaming addictions.
Okay, so we're talking about the kids, and what a lot of people don't see here is where they come from and where they live.
Yeah, actually our kids come from some pretty tough backgrounds and communities. So many of our kids live in what would be considered a slum dwelling kind of environment with an entire family living probably in maybe a 4x4 room. Maybe it might have a toilet or there might be kind of a community well. Many of our homes are kind of built up on water. So they're water slums which have a lot of garbage around them. Many of our families make under $200 a month and don't have enough money to send their kids to school, or have enough clothes, or have enough food to eat. So some of the common issues that we face because of the tremendous levels of poverty is malnutrition, just teenage pregnancy because kids are dropping out of school, and we see a lot of these cycles of addiction just carry through. So our hope really is that in being able to provide some of these opportunities, that we can help kids stay in school, teach them moral value, life choices, critical thinking skills, how to really make better choices for their life. And we're seeing now, kind of 8 years down the road, some of our kids actually do that. And so we even have sponsors like Doubletree and Hilton that really link with us strongly to be able to provide exposure to the hotel industry, that support us in some of our educational incentives. And so I believe that together with the great big community of many of our rugby sponsors, our bangers on bikes, Satanta, there's a whole list of people that consistently kind of come under us to bring belief and hope for our kids. It's pretty amazing. We feel incredibly privileged.
Gillian, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have a lot of kids who don't go to school for various reasons. They're mostly migrant children who've come to Cambodia with their families when they're looking for work. So we're looking at alternative education provision for them, such as like an informal school to give them a real basic foundation for their education to give them more hope for their future. And then we're also looking at providing daycare for the younger brothers and sisters and the babies so that that it will enable the older children to study more effectively.
What kind of lifestyle have you seen a lot of these children come from?
And most of these children are living in slum communities, so they are really living in a lot of poverty. They don't eat well. We see a lot of very small children because they're malnourished. The community that they live in, there's a lot of problems with alcohol abuse, drug abuse, teen pregnancy, a lot of the sort of normal social issues, I guess, that you see. And then they have additional problems because they're migrants. They're not always legal in Thailand, and therefore they have a lot of difficulty accessing healthcare and education at times.
Okay, the reason why I asked you that is because what a lot of rugby players don't see here is that kind of background that they're from. All they see are kids smiling, playing rugby. But, you know, we really want to focus on where they go to after the rugby tournament's finished, you know, kind of like a reality check for them. So I think it's good that our viewers from around Asia, you know what's going on and what kind of educational programs you guys can provide.
Thailand is a nation of much wealth, but amidst the tall buildings and many shopping malls, there are enormous numbers of poor who are often exploited and have little hope for the future. Bangkok is the country's capital and has a population of over 12 million. The city attracts many migrant workers from surrounding nations who are looking for a better life. However, they often end up in poorly paid jobs, being exploited, and living in slum conditions without much hope. Children are often left alone to care for younger siblings or work as underage laborers to help support their families. ARK International has been working in an impoverished migrant community in Samut Prakan for the past 5 years. Their community programs include youth and sport programs, youth camps, healthcare, nutrition, education, and mentorship. Nicole, a Canadian, and her husband Sopo, a New Zealander, began ARK International in 2007. It is a ministry of youth with a mission, and today works alongside many project partners, including Hope for the Nations. Their goal is to network, train, and facilitate projects focusing on the specific needs of children at risk, so that children can have a sustainable future. ARK currently partners with Blah, who is a social worker and pastor of a small church in the center of the community. She is committed to long-term efforts with children at risk and has demonstrated this for the past 5 years.
เด็กๆที่อยู่บริเวณนี้ส่วนใหญ่มาจากกัมพูชาเป็นเด็กที่ลี้ภัยเข้ามาการทำงานกับเด็กๆเหล่านี้เป็นการทำงานที่ยากเพราะว่าเต็มไปด้วยปัญหาเพราะว่าเขาเป็นเด็กที่ไม่มีตัวตนในประเทศไทยปัญหาที่พบก็จะเป็นปัญหาของการที่เด็กๆไม่ได้รับการศึกษาแล้วว่าพ่อแม่มีทัศนคติที่ผิดๆเกี่ยวกับเรื่องการศึกษา
ARK International met Nan at one of their sports programs 5 years ago and has since provided her with an educational sponsorship to help her achieve her dream of becoming a doctor. Without this support, Nan would not be able to stay in school.
Now there's a lot of children didn't go to school because the parent left them in the daytime and didn't encourage them to go to school, but well, they don't have money either, so lots of the children here just stay home and sometimes go to study with people.
Jillian Tom is a committed staff member of ARK International and as a former teacher is spearheading their efforts to start a community education center in Samut Prakan.
Our dream is to open a centre here, a community centre, where the children will be able to come and receive a solid foundation for their education, where we can support the whole family and help them, the parents, to know how to help their kids better, where we can have a daycare for the younger kids so they're well taken care of while their older siblings attend school, where we can have a tutoring centre and other activities on offer for kids, such as sport or music or things they would not normally get to do. So we're really dreaming of that being something like a real catalyst for change in this community and bringing hope where there has been a lack of hope in the past.
ARK is currently searching for a suitable building and recruiting local staff. We would love to partner with you to build an education center in Samut Prakan where the children can be cared for in a safe environment, have the opportunity to learn to read and write, and where families will be trained in financial literacy and nutrition in order to help stop the cycle of poverty in the area. Will you help us? Everyone can make a difference, and everything contributes towards change.